I was so excited today. So I was driving through New Mexico yesterday, just check out the road up here. And this is a section I've never been to before. It's not often that I get to visit a place I've never been to before in America these days. And I drove through one of these little towns and I was like, oh my God, this is one of the spots. Now just wait until you see this place because it's like heaven. We made it. All right, so look at this little town. This is downtown Cloudcroft, New Mexico. Little tiny 750 person town up here on the very top of the mountain, 8,600 feet in elevation. And it's also kind of special today because I haven't seen snow on the ground yet. And it's finally here. Look at it, look at all the snow. That is perfect snow too, powdery. Okay. Before we get into anything, let's go get a little breakfast and I'll give you an outline for the itinerary today. When I go to new towns, one of my favorite things to do is find the local cafe that everybody congregates at. This is where everybody comes from, the old timers that have lived in this town for 40 years and all the travelers that pass through. So you get to come through, have a little bit of breakfast like this awesome soup and this awesome acai bowl that I got served. And then you also get to have conversations with people like the owner of this coffee shop who had lived on a cruise ship for 15 years and been to almost every sea bordering country around the entire world. And it's so fun to come do some work at places like this every morning. After I was done with breakfast and some morning work, I set out to explore Cloudcroft a little bit. This was my first time in this town and I cannot wait to come back when it's a little bit warmer and I can spend more time here because it is awesome. I'm just driving around up here exploring and I found some amazing sandal weather for us. Look at the snow. I missed the snow. As a van lifer, I don't love to sleep in very snowy places, but I'll tell you what, when it's a little sunny outside, there is nothing better than getting outside and playing in the snow in wild places where there is no one else. It is so fun. So after this, it was time for a proper hike. I think my new favorite food, basically in the entire world right now, is pomegranate seeds. Oh my God. How do you beat that? Anyways, we just made it below the snow line over to our hiking spot. Somewhere over here is a waterfall. Probably not a frozen waterfall, but there is a waterfall. And it's a really exciting hike for me to do, actually, because if you haven't been following on for the channel for a bit, you might not know that I hurt my hamstring really bad and haven't been able to hike like anywhere for a long time. Then it occurred to me not that long ago and really started to help me heal is that my leg might actually already be healed. All those muscles that had to get stronger around the hamstring to support my leg while I was injured might just still be so freaking tight that it's pulling on that muscle, that weak muscle that was my hamstring. So I spent a lot of time and I've literally just been like massaging all the super tight muscles in my leg that hurts like hell to do it. And along like the groin and inside here, I spent like probably 3 days. I've just literally been massaging and like crying because it's so painful. And I can hike again all of a sudden, like 3 days later. Like that one little thought, just like releasing all the tight muscles around that weak muscle has finally allowed my hamstring to start getting stronger because I think the muscle's already healed. It's just weak. So that's pretty cool. Let's go hiking. Here's the view that I really want you to look at real quick. So if you see far over there in the distance, I'm gonna zoom in for you actually. Way over here, you can almost see some area that looks like there's been clouds that have just fallen from the sky and landed on the ground. This is White Sands National Park. White Sands National Park spans about 275 square miles of pearly white sand that looks like you're on a beach in Florida, and it just fills up this valley. It's one of the weirdest places to come in America, and when you get down there, and I'll show you the national park later today, you'll see it's so phenomenal. It's one of the most unique ecosystems ever. But this valley has a lot of history, specifically around World War II, because if you look over here to these mountains, this specific mountain right here, right behind this, is what's called Trinity Site, where the first atomic bomb was detonated back in 1945. So it's kind of a weird dynamic where you have first these beautiful mountains that is one of the elk paradises of the world. The biggest elk I've ever seen in my life was right up here on the other side of the Cloudcroft town that I showed you this morning. And then right down here, you have some of the biggest destructive forces that have ever been harnessed on planet Earth right over this mountain. So you have this weird dynamic. It adds to an interesting culture. The food's really good. I don't know if chaos breeds good food, but I think it does. And White Sands National Park is one of, if not the most unique national park in all of the country. I just saw a sign that the waterfall is still another 2 miles. And as much as I want to go and as much as I think I could make it, 4 miles-ish round trip is still a little bit strong for my leg, I think, right now, especially since I want to go take you hiking in the national park and show you some of these crazy sand dunes a little bit later. So I'm going to bail out on the waterfall. We're going to start heading down the mountain just to preserve the health a little bit and wait until you see what's next. I just drove into White Sands National Park. Now just look at this. Look at it. It's like the clouds fell out of the sky and made these sand dunes. Like, they are so perfect white as far as you go, and there's almost no one out here, so you can walk and hear the first footsteps in the sand for miles. Oh my God. I'm going to show you a fun little trick. When desert wandering, I don't want my face to get burned to a crisp, like my lips, my nose will get all flaky and things like that when I get burned real bad. So what you do instead is you get a t-shirt just like this, and you stick your head through just to this point, and then tie the sleeves behind your head. Now look at that. Perfect ninja mask. And now we're ready to go wander the desert with minimal sunburns. Probably my favorite part about White Sands is it doesn't take long. If you're just willing to walk a little bit away from the parking lot, suddenly you're walking here on virgin dunes. There's no footprints. You get to be the first one in all this awesome sand. Like, look at how cool this place is. 200 plus square miles of this. And you can just run and frolic as much as you want. Being able to move again, man. Oh my gosh. I haven't been able to move for months. I'd be able to almost jog one day, be able to get outside, move a little bit. I wake up the next day, could barely walk for the first time since like February. It's November right now. I finally feel like I'm on an upward trend, like I'm finally coming over the injury. Oh my God, I missed it so much. Just being able to move again. Okay, I'm starting to feel my leg get off a few warning signals, just like, okay, be careful, don't push it too far. So I'm gonna take a nice easy walk back through the dunes to the van. Oh my gosh. Oh, I needed that so much. You guys don't understand how many months it's been since I've just been able to flip and not worry about killing myself and being crippled for the next 3 weeks. Oh, I'm finally back. Finally back. Let's go get dinner. We started the day way up here on the other side of this mountain in Cloudcroft, New Mexico. And now we're at the bottom of the mountain at Y'all's Steakhouse. But we're not here for a steak. We're here because New Mexico is the home of perhaps the most delicious burger that has ever been created. And I think they have it on the menu, so let's go see. They have them. It's time. This is a green chili burger, and they have hatch chilies locally grown in New Mexico underneath the cheese, and it makes it one of the best tasting burgers you've ever had. Let's have it. There is a small handful of foods I've had across America that are some of the most amazing things I've ever tasted. And when I ate this burger, it brought back so many memories. This, Vermont maple syrup, Montana huckleberries, there's only a few of them, and this is one of the best foods. You have to try it. So that does it here on November 19th in Alamogordo, New Mexico. That place, Cloudcroft, New Mexico, up on the mountain, is one of the coolest small towns that I've been to in America, for sure. If it wasn't so cold, I'd spend a lot more time there right now, but there's snow on the ground, and it's not fun to sleep in the snow when it's 30 degrees or less in the van. So I'm going to head over to Hot Springs in New Mexico, which is about 2 hours that way, and it should be pretty fun. It's been a long time since I've been to Hot Springs, since this big drive around the east. They're only here really on the west side of the country, and I'm really excited to go back. So that's where I'm going to be heading. I'll bring you back as soon as I find a little place to sleep shortly. I'm going to have to brighten this clip quite a bit, but it is 8 o'clock. The stars are out. Probably can't see those in the camera either. I love being in the desert because the stars always come out at night. But that's going to do it for a little Greatest Small Towns in America episode. Check out Cloudcroft. It's freaking epic. Now to the hot springs with us. I'll see you in the next video.